China has just sent a clear and aggressive message to North Korea. Get out. The warning shook international observers, leaving Russia, an ally to both, caught in the crossfire and seemingly powerless. What could make China break its silence and risk destabilizing its partnerships? As the world watches, tensions in Northeast Asia escalate, raising fears that this could be the breaking point in the region. Could this warning be the spark that lights an even bigger fire between these major players? North Korea's bold move of sending nearly 12,000 troops to support Russia in Ukraine didn't just turn heads. It set alarms blaring. Of these troops, 500 were elite special forces, causing an already tense geopolitical landscape to tilt further out of balance. This wasn't just a symbolic show of solidarity. It was a calculated, risky gamble. China, always wary of such unpredictable power plays, immediately felt the pressure. The prospect of North Korea being deeply involved in a European conflict raised fears that such a conflict could spill back into the Pacific and disrupt the already fragile equilibrium in Northeast Asia. The stakes have never been higher, and Beijing's patience is wearing thin. For China, this isn't just a foreign issue. It's a potential nightmare that could impact its regional influence and strategic security. China's response was swift and unprecedented, a loud and definitive warning to Pyongyang. Step back or face the consequences. Such a statement from Beijing is never casual. It's always calculated and strategic. The last thing China wants is for North Korea's reckless involvement to ignite a conflict that drags China into an unwanted confrontation. For years, China has walked a tightrope, balancing its alliances without losing face or power. This sudden, firm warning signaled more than just irritation. It was a declaration that Beijing was ready to protect its strategic dominance in the region, even if it meant pushing back against its allies. Russia, despite its partnership with both nations, now finds itself in a particularly awkward and delicate position. China's warning puts Putin in a bind that could have severe consequences for his standing. Supporting North Korea too heavily risks angering China, a vital economic and strategic partner, especially during Moscow's growing isolation from the West. But turning a blind eye to Pyongyang's moves could weaken the bond that has kept Russia, China, and North Korea linked as a trio standing against common adversaries. Analysts suggest that Putin is faced with a dilemma that demands a difficult choice. Continue aligning closely with North Korea at the risk of losing China's support, or heed Beijing's advice and risk appearing weak. This is a test that could shift the alliances and dynamics within this trio, with implications that could extend beyond their borders. The whole world is watching to see how Kim Jong-un, a leader known for his unpredictable nature, will react. For decades, Kim's defiant actions have defined him as a wild card, not only in his dealings with the US and South Korea, but also within his relationships with allies. If he chooses to defy China's warning, he risks triggering repercussions that could destabilize his entire regime. Beijing's economic support is too significant for Kim to overlook. Without it, North Korea's already fragile economy could crumble further, plunging the nation into chaos. But if there's one thing Kim has shown, it's that he rarely backs down from a fight, no matter the odds. His next move could either solidify his reputation as a fearless leader or mark a turning point where even his most loyal followers start questioning his judgment. The message from China wasn't just aimed at Pyongyang. It was a strategic move that sent shockwaves through international circles. China's statement hinted at its readiness to wield its power in ways that could reshape the balance of power. If Kim continues down his current path, he may find himself more isolated than ever, risking China's economic aid and strategic support. This isn't a position Kim can afford to be in, but history has shown he often chooses risky defiance over cautious diplomacy. The world waits to see who blinks first in this dangerous game of political chess. The broader implications of this situation reach far beyond the borders of China, Russia, and North Korea. The US, Japan, and South Korea are monitoring every move, ready to react at the first sign of conflict escalation. If North Korea defies China and continues its aggressive strategies, it could prompt a stronger military buildup in the Pacific region, further straining the delicate balance. China's influence over both Russia and North Korea is significant, but it's not limitless. If Pyongyang dismisses China's warning, the entire Indo-Pacific could become a flashpoint for conflict on a scale unseen in decades. The fear of this scenario alone is enough to make world leaders brace for impact. China's decision to break its silence and take a stand signals its understanding of the precarious nature of the current geopolitical situation. While Beijing's leverage over North Korea and Russia is notable, it knows that the outcome of this confrontation could have long-lasting consequences. The warning isn't just about avoiding immediate conflict, it's about ensuring that China's position as a dominant power in the region remains unchallenged. If North Korea continues to push boundaries and Russia continues to enable it, Beijing may have to choose between maintaining its alliances and securing its own interests. This could mean taking actions that, until now, have seemed off the table. The real test lies in what Kim Jong-un does next. Will he heed China's warning or dismiss it as an empty threat? Defying Beijing would be a gamble that could leave North Korea more isolated than ever. Yet, Kim has built his leadership on the concept of resistance, always projecting strength even when it places him on the brink. This time, the consequences of ignoring China's warning could be far more severe than any he's faced before. With his military now involved in the European conflict and eyes from all corners of the globe on him, the stakes are at an all-time high. Public reaction to this development is intense. In the West, many see China's actions as a necessary move to prevent a more significant conflict, while others view it as a calculated attempt to keep power dynamics in check. In Northeast Asia, however, the message resonates differently. It underscores the fragility of alliances and the precarious balance that has kept the region from descending into chaos. South Korea, already on edge due to North Korea's military posturing, is watching closely. If Kim ignores China's warning, it could lead to an increased military presence along the demilitarized zone and a more aggressive stance from Seoul. Russia, on the other hand, finds itself navigating a labyrinth of conflicting interests. Putin's relationship with Kim Jong-un has been one of convenience, bolstering Russia's position amid Western sanctions and providing a distraction from his war in Ukraine. But Putin also knows that alienating China could mean losing one of his last major allies. China's aggressive stance may have surprised some, but it's a clear signal that the lines are being drawn. For Beijing, allowing North Korea and Russia to forge a deeper alliance without consequences would be a strategic failure. By warning Pyongyang, China asserts that it is not just a silent observer, but a key player willing to shape outcomes. Should North Korea choose to ignore China's warning and continue its involvement in Ukraine or escalate tensions with South Korea, it could set off a domino effect. The US might ramp up military support to its allies in the Pacific, further pressuring China to act. Beijing's next steps will be watched closely. Will it double down on its warning and take firmer action? Or will it step back to avoid a more extensive conflict? The world holds its breath. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. This is more than just a regional issue. It's a test of alliances, a demonstration of power, and a warning shot for what the future may hold. Will North Korea, known for its defiance, yield to China's demand? Or will it choose to risk isolation and push ahead? Will Russia play the role of mediator or instigator in this tense scenario? The questions loom large, and the answers are anything but certain. So, what do you think will happen next? Will China's warning be enough to pull North Korea back from the brink? Or is this just the beginning of an even more dangerous chapter? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story has sparked your curiosity or made you pause for thought, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Stay tuned as we continue to explore global events that challenge the status quo and shape our world's future.